Well, UFC Fight Night Pereira versus Hernandez just wrapped up, and I'm gonna say this card was alright. I mean, there was a bunch of decisions on this card and only 2 finishes. The good thing about a lot of these decisions, though, is that they were back and forth wars, so at least we got that. I'm gonna break this card down and give my opinions. I'm gonna give my opinions on the fights that I really watched, so I can give you my point of view of them, because the ones I didn't watch, I'm gonna have to go back and see, so why would I give my point of view on it? Rebellis Dispain, you make my eyes hurt. I remember when this man was hyped up to be the next Ngannou when he was first joining the UFC, talking about his reach. The fact that he has a Taekwondo background, but this man is garbage. Now, I understand the transition from a certain sport to MMA is not easy. It's not an easy transition whatsoever. It takes time to transition, but at the same time, the first thing you should do if you're coming in as a striker is learn how to get up off the ground and learn how to defend takedown. I'm sure he only has one more chance left. This fight was much more competitive than I thought it would be, honestly, but it happened. I did predict that Asu Almobayev would win, so thankfully I got that correct, but this fight was a lot closer than I thought it would be, and I do think Almobayev will be competitive with basically everybody in this division, just like everyone else is, but I do find it funny that in the post-fight interview, Asu Almobayev was like, I'm ready for the belt, give me the belt, and Paul Felder was basically just like, no, you aren't ready for the belt. This got fight of the night, and deservingly so, honestly, in my opinion. They went to war in this fight. Darren Elkins proving that he's still just as tough as ever, he's still just as resilient as ever, and he still got that dog in him. And I love to see it, you know. Daniel Pineda did retire, and he did have a very long career. 47 fights, I'm pretty sure, with a 100% finish rate. That's insane. So, yeah, happy retirement to Daniel Pineda. Hope you do well in whatever you're doing after this, because you completely deserve it. And Darren Elkins said he'd probably stay around longer. If he keeps having fights like that, I don't know how much longer he'll be around, but he's entertaining, and that's what we really want from most of these fighters. We want entertainment. So Darren Elkins is always a safe pick. This was also a back and forth fight where a lot of people are saying Sumo Darji actually won. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again to see, but I did pick Charles Johnson to win live. But I've watched stuff live and been wrong before, so like I said, I'll have to go back and watch it. But for Charles Johnson, man, is that like 4 wins this year? You know, if Alex Pereira wasn't a thing, he'd probably be up there for Fighter of the Year. I mean, he knocked out Joshua Van, which is something nobody saw coming. Everybody was talking about how Joshua Van was going to piece this dude up coming into the fight. Yeah, that didn't happen. Well, actually, it kind of did, but Charles Johnson just survived it and then pieced up Joshua Van, and Joshua Van couldn't take it. So I'm going to go back and watch it and see if I change my pick for who won this fight. But I did pick Charles Johnson live. I also picked him in my prediction, so maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased. Bantamweight, you have a Derek Brunson. This man has knocked off 2 up-and-coming bantamweights. So I guess Rob Font is now a gatekeeper, or he's at least in the position of a gatekeeper, because he's solid. You know, he can beat a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that can beat him as well. He's basically your test. If you beat Rob Font, you're probably going to be fighting for the title soon. He's just in that position. And if you don't beat Rob Font, you're probably going to be held back for quite a minute. I chose Kyler Phillips simply off of hype. I didn't even really do much research on this, and that's kind of what I get for trying to do my predictions last minute. I will not make the same mistake for UFC 308. I will not. I got to look into this fight because Max Holloway and Ilya Taporia are on the card. Yeah, I got to do more digging. But yeah, congrats to Rob Font, and maybe y'all should either give him a higher level opponent or stop giving him up and coming fighters, because he'll just destroy them. I said it in my prediction video. I said it on my live stream. Like, it's clear. If Anthony Hernandez got out of that first round with Pereira, he was going to win. It was set in stone. If he got out that first round, it was going to be his W. Michel Pereira had to get Hernandez up out of there in the first round if he wanted to win. He didn't do that. So Anthony Hernandez does what Anthony Hernandez does best: drown you. This is what an exciting grappling style looks like. This is what you want to see from a grappler. It's constantly trying to finish the fight, constantly getting better position, constantly delivering ground and pound. Like, this man is dangerous. His main goal is just to drown you. It's just to make you feel like you don't want to be in there anymore. And Michel Pereira was feeling that. He didn't want to be in there anymore. And in round 4, Hernandez got it done. The ref saw enough and they stopped the fight. You know, people are now pointing out that Kevin Holland beat this man back in 2020, but 2020 Kevin Holland was just a different breed. And they're also pointing out that Anthony Hernandez versus Dricus Du Plessis was scheduled back in 2022. I feel like that would have been a war. And now I want to see it. I want to see what that fight would look like. That would be an absolute slugfest. That would be a war. There'd be a bunch of grappling exchanges. That fight would go everywhere. And it'd be very entertaining. But I do think Dricus would win that fight due to the power. He'd probably rip the body shots with Fluffy is very susceptible to. Yeah, Fluffy has a very soft body, and I don't know why more people aren't really going for it, but I'm sure somebody will soon and crack that code. But yeah, anyway, that's how I feel about the fights that I did watch, at least. I'll give the card maybe a 5, 6 out of 10. I'll say 5 out of 10. Congrats to Fluffy for winning, and maybe I'll make a video as well of who I think they should fight next. Anyway, see y'all in the next video.